Good afternoon, all of you. Today I am going to teach you the next disease, the bacterial disease. And the name of that bacterial disease, it is the citrus canker. The citrus canker, the citrus means lemon, limbo, and canker means the dirty grey brown cankerous growth or dirty mass. They can be oozes out from the plant surface. They are known as the canker. Generally this citrus canker, it is a bacterial disease, and this disease, it is found on the members of the citrus, that is on the Citrus medica. Citrus medica, it is the botanical name of the lemon, that is limbo. Then this disease, it can be also found on the sweet lemon. Sweet lemon, we know the sweet lemon, that is the Mosambik. Then it can be also found on the orange also, orange santri, and the members of the Rutaceae. But citrus canker, it is the disease which can be found on the citrus plant, that is on the lemon plant, and the botanical name of the citrus is the Citrus medica. The Citrus medica, it is the host plant, and on that the disease can be formed. The citrus, it is this citrus canker, it is worldwide in distribution, and the disease citrus canker, it was first recorded in Japan and then spread all over the countries. Now it is known to occur in all over the areas where the citrus plant they can be grown, as well as the sweet lemon, as well as orange. In these plants, the citrus canker they can be also occurs. The disease citrus canker, it will be studied, their introduction, symptoms, then causal organism, disease cycle, and the control measures. So the next part is the symptoms. What are the symptoms? Symptoms are the external visual expressions on the host plants in pathogenic conditions. There are several types of symptoms they can be observed on the infected plants. The infected plants, that is the symptoms they can be shows all aerial parts. All aerial part means that is above ground part, that is the young twigs, branches, leaves, and on the fruits. The symptoms they can be also occurs, and on the leaves the lesions appears as they are smaller rounded structures, and first the symptoms they can be found on the lower surface of the leaves. On the lower surface of the leaves, first symptoms they can be appears when disease spreads or when severe infection takes place. These spots they can be also observed on the upper surface of the leaves also, and later on both the surfaces these spots they can be also occurs, and these spots they are watery, translucent, and they are brown in color. These spots they are slightly raised above the surface of the fruits. Means हा जो सरफेस आहे लीफचा, ह्या सरफेस पासून थोड्या प्रमाणामध्ये हे उंचवटे असे दिसतात. तुम्ही बघा फ्रुट्स वरती किंवा लीव्स वरती, तर फ्रुट्स वरती बऱ्याच प्रमाणामध्ये हा डिसीज ऑब्झर्व असतो आपल्याला. तर याच्यामध्ये ही फ्रूटची स्किन आहे, याच्यापासून असे उंचवटे असे ब्राउन कलरचे स्पॉट आलेले सारखे दिसतात, and these are the translucent spots, and they are raised, they are brown in color, and in the beginning the spots appears on the lower surface, and then when disease progress or it can increases, the spots they can appear on the both the surface of the leaves. Then these spots they are white or grayish color, and finally they are rupture in the center, forming rough corky area. Then at the center there they can ruptures, and there is a corky area they can be formed on the leaves as well as on the fruits also. and these spots appear as irregular, or sometimes these spots they can increase in size and several spots they can unite, and they form the elongated lessons, and the lessons they can be also observed elongated spots, the many spots they can united and they forms the elongated structures on the twigs also, as well as on the leaves and fruits also. These spots appear as irregular, distinct, corky, whitish or yellowish. Halo is formed at the center of the fruit, and the old lessons they becomes brown and they are pinkish in color. The lessons or symptoms. Lessons means that is the spots. The spots appears on the leaves, fruits as well. Fruits and twigs they are similar. The spongy rough eruptions may be also distributed on the surface, and they forms the irregular scrubby mass. They can be also formed on the surface of the leaves as well as on the twigs as well as on the fruits. These are the various types of the symptoms they can be observed on the infected plants. Then next part is the causal organism. Causal organism means the organism which is responsible for the development of the disease. It is known as causal organism, or it is also called as the causal agent. Here the causal organism, it is a bacterium, and the name of that bacterium is the Xanthomonas citri, or it is also called as Xanthomonas campestris. The causal organism is Xanthomonas citri or Xanthomonas campestris, and this Xanthomonas campestris, it is a rod shaped bacterium, and it has the single polar flagella. Flagella is present at the one end, and this bacterium, it is a rod shaped, it is gram negative bacterium, and this bacterium it can grows by the binary fission, and they can forms the chain of the bacterium. There are several capsules they can unite, and they forms the chain of the capsules. They can be also formed. These bacteria they are rod shaped. They can be measured about the 1.5 to 3 micron in length and 0.5 to 75 micron in breadth. And the capsules of the bacterium they can possess a single polar flagellum. Then the next part is the disease cycle. The disease can be transferred, or for this disease the bacterium which is responsible is the Xanthomonas campestris or Xanthomonas citri, and this bacterium it can enters into the plant body through the wounded portion as well as the on the surface of the leaves as well as fruits. There are openings or lenticels or stomatas are present, and through these stomata as well as lenticels the bacterium they can enter inside the host tissue, and they can multiply after reaching, and they can multiply in the intercellular spaces. It dissolves the middle lamella and they can grows there, and they can grows and forms the cankerous outgrowth. They can be forms on the leaves as well as on the fruits also, and the form of the exudations. The disease mainly transfer through wind, rain, water as well as the insects also. And for the infection, the atmospheric temperature that is about 20 to 35 degrees centigrade with an optimum of about 30 degrees centigrade, and free moisture for the 20 minutes they can be also essential for the infection to the leaves of the plants also. Then these organisms or the bacterium it can survive on the infected part of the plants up to 6 months. The disease spreads through water, insects, and they can also transfer through the man also, or sometimes the nursery stocks, they can be also responsible for the transfer of disease, and in this way the disease cycle can be also takes place through the rainwater as well as the human beings, as well as the, that is the laborers which can work in the nursery, they can also transfer the disease. Then control measures. Which are the control methods they can be used? There are so many control methods, and most important control method is the sanitation. Sanitation means keeping the field clean. When at the time of the pruning of the branches, pruning means छटनी करने, काटछाट करने, removing of the unwanted plant parts, it is known as the pruning. And the after pruning of the infected plant parts, then they can be burned completely. If काही वेळेला काय होतं की प्रुनिंग केलं जातं आणि शेतकरी वगैरे काय करतात तर आहे तसंच ते बांधावरती फेकून देतात, आणि त्यामुळे काय होतं तर त्या डिसीज पुन्हा त्या प्लांटवरचा ज्या प्रुनिंग केलेल्या ब्रांचेस आहेत त्याच्यावरचा जो डिसीज आहे ते बॅक्टेरियम पुन्हा त्या फील्डमध्ये येतात. तर त्यासाठी काय करायचं तर हे जे सगळे प्लांट पार्ट्स कट केलेले आहेत, अनवॉन्टेड प्लांट पार्ट्स, ते कंप्लीट बर्निंग केले पाहिजेत. ड्राय करून ते बर्निंग करायचे किंवा ते खड्ड्यामध्ये पुरायचे. तर असं केल्यानंतर हा डिसीज कंट्रोल होईल, म्हणजे कंप्लीट सॅनिटेशन होईल. देन अनदर कंट्रोल, the use of disease free plantation. The plants which can be used, they can be obtained from the disease free nursery. Disease free nursery आहे तिथून ते plants cultivate केले पाहिजे त्याच्यापासून. Then spraying of the fungicide like the Bordeaux mixture as well as the lime sulfur to protect the fruits. And then after the development of the fruits up to 3 months, the occasionally the Bordeaux mixture they can be also used for control this disease up to 3 months of the development of the fruits. Then spraying of the antibiotics, antibiotic like the streptomycin, they can be also sprayed at the rate of 500 to 1000 ppm. 500 ppm to 1000 ppm. ppm means parts per million. 500 ppm. How will you prepare the 500 ppm solution? That is about the 5 or 50 milligram of the streptomycin. It can be also dissolved in 500 liter or 1 liter of the water, and that it is known as the ppm, or 1000 ppm, that is 100 milligram of the streptomycin. They can be dissolved in 1 liter of the water, that is 1000 ppm. And cultivation of the resistance varieties of the citrus plant, and there are several disease resistance varieties which can resist the citrus canker, that is king, tangerine, satsuma. These are the disease resistance variety for the canker disease. Then spraying of the neem cake, निंबोळीपेंड. neem cake means निंबोळीपेंड. निंबोळीपेंड आहे ही स्प्रे करायची at the rate of 7 kilograms per acre. 7 किलो पर एकर या प्रमाणामध्ये ती निंबोळी पेंड आहे ते स्प्रे करायचे, त्याच्यामुळे हा डिसीज कंप्लीट कंट्रोल होईल.